Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Welcome back to your go-to spot for fascinating coin stories, values, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar, a coin packed with history, and yes, we're going to uncover its current circulated value. Let's get started. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The nation wanted a lasting tribute, and the half dollar was chosen to honor the fallen president. It replaced the Benjamin Franklin half dollar, and the design was quickly approved by Congress. The obverse features a profile of JFK designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse, showing the presidential seal, was designed by Frank Gasparro. It became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Now, let's talk about the 1974 Kennedy half dollar specifically. It was struck in large quantities, over 200 million coins across 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. But here's the key detail. These coins were made from copper-nickel clad, not silver. Here are the specs. Weight: 11.34 grams diameter, 30.6 millimeters composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel over a pure copper core. So, unlike the 1964 version that had 90% silver, the 1974 version doesn't contain any silver, unless you're looking at a rare error or special strike. Alright, here's what most of you are here for. How much is a circulated 1974 Kennedy half dollar worth today? Because these coins were heavily circulated and produced in large numbers, most of them are worth face value, just 50 cents if they're in average condition. But if you've got one in excellent shape, especially with a strong strike, it might fetch $1 to $3 from a collector. Common circulated value: 50 cents to $1. Also common circulated value: 50 cents to $1. These were proof coins. If you have one, it's likely worth $3 to $6 or more, depending on condition. Oh, while it's not a retirement coin, it's still a nice piece of history worth saving. But what about errors and varieties? That's where things get interesting. Double die obverse, DDO, ***. Some 1974 D coins show doubling on the "In God We Trust" and the date. A strong DDO can be worth $20 to $50, and some in higher grades have sold for over $100. Off-center strikes *** or planchet errors. These can range from $10 to several $100s, depending on severity, so check your coins carefully. A small error can mean big money. If you're a new collector, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar is a great starter coin. It's affordable, easy to find, and has historical significance. Want to build a collection? Try finding one from each mint, P, D, and S, and look for high-grade examples to add value. Remember, condition matters. Store your coins in protective holders, and avoid touching the surfaces with bare fingers. Oh, whether you found a 1974 Kennedy half dollar in pocket change or inherited it from a relative, now you know its story and value. It might not make you rich, but it's a beautiful piece of American history to keep. The story of the Kennedy half dollar begins with a nation in mourning. After the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, Americans wanted a lasting tribute to honor the young, beloved leader. Just days after his death, Congress approved the idea to feature Kennedy on a U.S. coin, and the half dollar was chosen because it had enough space for a proper portrait and it wasn't as commonly used as the quarter or dime. Incredibly, within just a few weeks, the U.S. Mint had completed a new design. The obverse, or front, of the coin was designed by Gilroy Roberts, showing a side profile of JFK, while the reverse, the presidential seal, was created by Frank Gasparro. The first Kennedy half dollars were released in 1964, and they were struck in 90% silver. Americans were so eager to keep them as souvenirs that millions were hoarded almost immediately, disappearing from circulation. But by 1971, the U.S. Mint had removed silver from the circulating half dollars entirely, switching to a copper-nickel clad composition, just like today's dimes and quarters. That brings us to the 1974 Kennedy half dollar, a coin struck during a time of economic transition, when silver was too expensive to keep in everyday change. It was minted in huge quantities and is widely available today, but its design still carries the legacy of one of America's most iconic presidents. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss out on new coin video.